Hey there, Shooby-Doodlers, how are you doing? This last week we've been away and we stayed on a farm for bed and breakfast, and they had some goats there. And the breed is called Golden Guernseys, and they were so beautiful. I thought, I had 10 minutes, I'll go out and sketch them. And so I thought, oh, well, I'll show you how to draw a goat, a ram. Let's do the ram because he was quite impressive. And let's sort of work this out from basics. So we're going to want a kind of a sort of shape like that for the head, and then that's going to go up and then across and across, sort of handlebars really, and then that's going to go up into there and then this is going to come back down like that. That will come back down like that, something there. That will come, it's kind of sort of twisted at the same time. Now we want quite a long neck like that, and then we want a bit of a body that sort of goes like that, and that will come back into the back leg, front leg, well the back leg that's at the back, and then this is the back leg that's nearest to you, that's the word I'm looking for, and then we'll have the front legs there, a little tail. So let's get some ink into this, and I'm going to start up at the top here. So we've got a kind of a line down the middle. Then let's get this nice curve with a little flick at the end, up, down, and a flick at the end. And then here I'm going to go up with a little flick, up, a little flick, and then we'll come here, down, and join that flick, down, across, and join that flick. And then here we're going to want to bring this sort of down like that. There, so that gives us that kind of twist in the horns, and we're going to want some kind of fur there and a bit of fur, and then we want these ears, which are going to be like little leaves on the side like that, and then we can bring that sort of down there and then into this billy beard. I'm going to put a couple of eyes there and a nose, and then I'm going to do very little here, just these sort of curving kind of lines like that, and then curving up into the tail, and then we'll have that sort of going off into the back leg there. So there's quite a lot of fur sort of hanging down, long fur, so that'll be the body. And then I'm just going to bring the front leg down there like that. That cloven hoof, no, I didn't get close enough to see what the hooves are like, so we're just going to do something like that. And then at the back, I know it should be kind of like a little dog leg kind of thing, but I'm not going to do that because it's just complicated, isn't it? And this is a sort of a cartoony kind of thing. I think there, that gives it a bit more of an expression, doesn't it? And then we can put some grass in down there like that, and then we're going to want to have the tail going down there. So let's put some grass in there, make sure the whole thing is dry, and then we can erase those pencil lines. While you're catching up and getting your paints out, let's have an advert break. Welcome back. I've got my paints out, and I've got my paints. I've got a bit of kitchen towel, and then this is my ever trusty Pentel Aquash paintbrush. So this is what I use when I'm out sketching. And I'm going to need, actually I'm just going to clear this pan a little bit. So that's kind of all you need, and then a bit of water there. Bit of my favourite colour, Naples yellow, and I'm just going to kind of splash that all over really, like, and I'm going to do it kind of quite quick, just so that I can work on it while it's still wet. And I'm going to get a little bit of burnt sienna, so we want to get this sort of golden colour. I'm just going to kind of flick that in there and down below, maybe a bit there like that, and on the ears, and just sort of across there, a bit like that, and I'll just colour those bits in there. And while that's drying, I can come over to this side and mix up something that's a kind of a grass colour. So I'm going to get some yellow in there and some sap green. I think that's sap green. I was going to mix that in with some dirtiness up. Whatever you do, I find if you take grass colour straight from the pan, it never quite looks right. So you need to mix a bit of dirt in there just to kind of make it look a bit more realistic. I'm just going to add some bits of yellow in there just to kind of change so it's not just all one kind of flat colour. And then in theory this has been drying a bit on the golden colours, so I'm going to get a bit more burnt sienna, and now it's sort of dried a bit. I can sort of flick in some kind of hairiness, and then I think these bits the legs can get a bit sort of browner as they're hidden underneath the coat, and a bit more on the ears, and then I think we can kind of make that little part in there a bit darker. Adding a little bit of burnt umber in there, and I'm just going to sort of put a little bit of something in there just to give a feeling of the twistiness of the horn. Now I'll get it to dry, and obviously I'm not sketching because I haven't got it in front of me, and this isn't a live kind of thing, but I think you can sort of sketch things and come and bring them back into the studio and work from those sketches. But I'm just going to, now it's dry, then I can put sort of dry on dry, and I can sort of put some slight sort of effect of fur coming in down there like that. Maybe a bit more on the ears, and I feel there should be more sort of around there as well. And I'm going to get a tiny bit of neutral tint there and put that in as sort of shadow. That's probably more shadowed, that one, like that, and probably dark little hoofs and a bit of shadow on the ground. And as far as a sketch goes, I think that's all you really need to do. It's kind of the beginning of a character as well. If you wanted to, draw a goat character, that's kind of a little sketches that sort of start you off. I'm going to put a little bit more in there, I think. And maybe now I'm kind of imagining things. I'm adding things that weren't there. If I was an artificial intelligence, generative artificial intelligence, that would be called hallucinating. I'm putting things in there that I don't really know really exist, so I'm making them up. I love that concept of hallucination. So there we go. That's how to sketch a billy goat. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, make sure you are subscribed to the Shoo Rayner drawing channel. There should be a button down there somewhere, and keep coming back for lots more drawing videos every week. In the meantime, keep drawing, practice, and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.